I'm not sure you.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I figured like. And
It's someone has.
I'm ready to talk.
I'm sorry, but one person has like.
I'm definitely not ready to listen.
Putting in my blankets. It's a kid, and that's it. I always get this messy. Just just. What did you do?
Pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I need a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approve the minutes of the May 5th, 2025 regular meeting.
Make the motion.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approve employee claims filed with County Auditor for $1,037.68.
I'll make, yep.
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye. Next, we have a proclamation for the Cemetery Appreciation Month. Yeah,
It's something we've done every year, and Tony Bingston was the one that, asked for it to be on the agenda.
whereas Iowans are aware of the need to preserve the rich heritage contained in Iowa's pioneer and historical cemeteries, and whereas the appreciation of our ancestors' resting places develops a sense of pride in their ancestors' accomplishments and their communities. And whereas pride and respect for our pioneers leads to an interest in and concern for the future. It is with this thought in mind that we dedicate this month to the care of our pioneer cemeteries. Now, therefore, the Buchanan County Board of Supervisors hereby proclaim and support May 2025 as Cemetery Appreciation Month. I could have a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, we need to approve the appointment of Laura Morine as Madison Township Clerk effective July 1st, 2025.
She has been a trustee, and with Dave retiring, they asked her if that would be something she would be considered doing. I think she will do an excellent job. She's the former school secretary at Independence, so she.
Your motion.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Monthly trust report. For a, balance of funds, 2,374,057.46.
Make the motion.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah. Approve the hiring of secondary roads employee Ryan Thompson, operator 1, effective May 13th, 2025 at $24.70 per hour. Under Snyder, operator 1, effective May 12th, 2025 at $24.70 per hour. And Bob Gilson, seasonal mower technician, effective May 13th, 2025 at $19 per hour.
So moved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Place on file the following manure management plans. Daryl Higgins, Jefferson Township, Section 23. Pilot Bloom Farms Incorporated, Buffalo Township, Section 31. Daniel Thoma, Site Number 2, Westburg Township, Section 33.
So moved.
Second.
Favor?
Aye.
Okay. And next, discuss lawn maintenance.
I brought this up, you folks had talked about it, I don't know, month or two, about getting someone in to spray for dandelions. So I reached out to a couple businesses that in the area that I thought did this. And so we ended up getting two. One was from G&L Lawn Rangers, and that is for $133.71. And the other one was B&B Landscaping and Lawn Care, and that was $155. And that's per application. Broadleaf control, including dandelions and clover.
Question, or can I get a motion to approve one?
I think we still have money left in our
Yes.
lawn care.
Sounds like G&L's the cheaper one, so I'll make that motion.
The less expensive one.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
I will second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you. Discuss door replacement on the second floor. Jason, you were kind of hurting that elephant up.
Sure.
Come on up here, Jason.
Alright. Do you want to spend a little bit of money or a lot of money?
I think if we're gonna do it, better do it right.
A lot of money. All right. I make a motion to spend a lot of money. I can get out of here in 3 minutes. That's great.
I had already visited a little bit, and we do have funding left in our capital projects for this year, or there's also some ARPA funding possibly, but if we got it budgeted for capital projects, if you choose to do something, I would suggest taking it out of capital projects.
Okay.
Okay. Backstory, double doors up on the second floor. The clerk of courts and other courts offices are wanting it more secure. So we can either do a film, which the quote came in for that varies between $750 to about a little over $1,400. And it's not going to be bullet resistant. It's not going to be riot resistant. It's just going to pretty much hold the glass together. That's about it.
But slow them down.
Not by much, maybe 5 seconds. Since the application of the film is intended to be the film applied on the glass and then a caulking around the perimeter to pretty much create like a puzzle's border to lock that film into the glass. Since our doors are made of the wood, the caulking will not adhere to that. So all we'll have is the film to hold the glass together. So if someone uses their foot and just kicks through it, the whole thing will just go. So you might buy 5 seconds. That's about it. So there's that option. The other option is, I was looking at just outside the box, just replace the whole door system. So I got a quote through Spawn and Rose, who works with Dubuque Glass. They came back with a couple quotes, a couple different options. One of those is high impact glass and changing it to look very similar to the zoning's door, their entrance. That would be $5,690. So that's still not bulletproof. If we went with bulletproof glass, the glass is going to be ridiculously thick. And I don't know if there's any true bulletproof glass. This will still, from the little research I did, potentially stop low caliber, like small arms fire, limited degree. But it'd be a lot more resistant to people trying to break through it with their foot or a brick or something like that if you locked it down. So that's the cost to replace it with a single wide handicap accessible door. And then they're also wanting Hawkeye Alarm to put in a fob reader. If we reduced it down to just one door instead of the two, the cost for them to put that in would be somewhere $2,250. The overall cost to replace the entire doorway and put in the fob reader is $7,940. Or if we went with the cheapest option, which is just put the film, the thinnest film that they have through the other company, and a fob reader for 2 doors, it's $4,145.
In my opinion, I think as long as we're going with a wide handicap door.
Yep.
We can eliminate that double door requirement.
Yep.
And save us some more from electronics students.
Yeah.
That would be my recommendation.
Here's the blueprint, what they,
Do you have any thoughts on this?
I definitely go with one door. 90% of the time that was other half doors locked or secured anyway, doesn't open. It it isn't very handicap accessible way that most time I don't know who has the other key if they have it up there. They might have a key to it, but I'm assuming. I definitely do. The glass thing is gonna be a problem and for the price difference, I think you take care of your problem. Yeah, now instead of later.
Yeah, and so entertain a motion to approve going with the single door replacement. The electronics. And pay for it out of the capital projects.
Yeah, I would give you that motion.
Second.
Favor?
Oops, sorry.
all right,
Thank you, Jason. Appreciate it.
not a problem.
Appreciate you.
They give you a timeline or anything about how long it takes to get it ordered and made and everything?
Not a clue. Hopefully faster than our door over here.
They do have that door.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
Took them a month or two.
They're waiting for it to be delivered.
Go figure. All right, cool. I will sit back down.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, set the date to open bids for the sale of 2010 Ford Fusion SE from the health department.
So this is kind of, a discussion that was had a couple months ago also, because public health has stated that they don't use this, so it's just sitting. We don't have any other departments that need it, so you guys talked about getting rid of it. And I think they're ready to get rid of it and leave it from sitting out in the parking lot. So I have put together example bid sheet. My question is with you guys, if you want to put a minimum bid on it or just allow them to go in and open them and raise their bid at the time when we get them. I had a date set for June 2nd, and this will give me time to get it in the paper and get it out on the website.
Did I hear there were some conversations, there was already some interest in it?
People keep asking us about it, 'cause
So-
it's just been.
What was the minimum bid for that?
I had Fred Smart get a bid months ago.
From Bucket?
He had 4.
I was gonna say, I think it was around 4,000.
It had more miles on it, not much, but
Well, if that's the lowest one so far.
I would
we
say
get back up there too.
use that as a opening bid.
Okay, I can make an adjustment.
Was he just give us an estimate or was that actual, he wants it?
He does not. He was just.
It's just an
that's the
estimate.
number. It was, yes.
So I can make the correction to the bid sheet to have it include a minimum bid of $4,000 and then get it to the paper,
Need a motion for that.
please.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Brian, you're just in time. Discuss chip seal, county line and Stanley.
Good morning. I was hoping the mayor of Stanley was gonna be here. Yeah, at any rate, question, Fayette County threw me some numbers with Ragbri coming through there. They got to look at their road and they're real nervous about W-33 coming into Stanley. And, 1,060 feet of that is ours, so our portion of that, and we probably use the existing 28E because we've got a 28E on the county line that covers it. Our portion will be 7,229 based on their estimate,
7,229.
7,229. Now that ends there, I gotta say, when you get to the corner. And then the city of Stanley had met, and I thought he was gonna be here. And they're interested in doing their portion also. And that is, pardon me?
Maybe that's him.
It might be, I need to look though. Nope, it's Gary Payton. If they were to continue that additional, there's a 526-foot stretch that would need additional work. And then a 1,265 foot. That would amount to a total, our portion would be about 13,800. 13,786.50 is what it comes up.
Depending on how much they do.
Yes, yeah,
You're talking total between the two is gonna be about 20,000.
correct. Yeah, well, and part of it would be Stanley's bill too. The difference is we give Stanley the farm market funds. And so they're technically supposed to maintain that. Historically, the board would be willing to split those costs on farm market extensions.
You got a couple of small communities out.
Yes, that's been the philosophy over the years. But I was expecting the Mayor Stanley to be here and I would gladly try and call him, but I was expecting to be sitting here.
Does this all come out of farm to market funds or does this come out?
No, this would be my local funds. So there's a category, a line item in the budget for asphalt payments.
Yep.
And that's about 170,000 in it because I got a bunch of work to do. Asphalt work north of Jessup, trying to keep that together. And
You have this in your budget already?
that's what I'm saying, yes. And I'm not supposed to put maintenance projects in the budget. I got that email again this year.
Oh.
And I'm supposed to put it in the line items like this.
Yeah.
Stanley not here. Take no action on this at this time.
Can you try to get him on the phone? I hate.
I would gladly try and get him on the phone. And here's my other thought. What my thoughts would be to authorize the engineer to enter an agreement with Stanley participating. Otherwise, if Stanley's not doing their portion. Stanley Mayor,
They are, if they are not, you can authorize either.
Rob Irving.
Past, we've asked the other communities to have a portion of it.
Well, that's what I would think. Good morning, Rob. This is Brian Kylabor.
Hi, Brian.
I thought you were going to be here in the boardroom this morning.
I am. I thought you said it was at 10 o'clock.
No. 9 o'clock is when they start.
Gosh, yeah, I'm just heading out the door to be there. So, shoot, is the board meeting over?
No, it's in session right now and I've got the board and all on phone. You don't need to drive over here. What did the city council decide?
The meeting, we didn't have enough, council members, so we are gonna hold it Tuesday night, tomorrow night, I'm sorry, at 6. And, yeah, it's, what, we definitely, if we can get the interest free, but we are, yeah.
That's fair.
If we can get any
Again, I
help
forward
from
that letter on.
Buchanan County, we'd appreciate it,
Yeah, that's what the board's discussing right now, whether we go 50-50 on the portion with the city. On the city's portion. Now Fayette County's got their portion.
Did Joel send you that? It was a matter of around.
Joel sent me all that information. I've got it broke down, yes.
Okay.
And I've forwarded on to the board.
We could give him an indication of whether or not we're gonna go 50-50 with their portion. I mean, I agree to it.
We'll save you driving, I think, and I'm expecting a motion that the county to authorize the engineer to go 50-50 with the city's portion.
You would go 50-50.
Well, I haven't seen that motion, but I'm expecting it.
We will, you know.
Yeah, I can make that motion.
Second.
Favor?
I think
Because
Aye.
that interest free for 5 to 10 years, and we would take that on to, you know, so.
Yeah, okay, and what I just heard is a motion, but I think it's all approved, that we would split the city's portion with the city.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. We'll try and keep this whole town going.
All right,
Yes. And then, yeah, no, I think I appreciate that, Brian. And then, just, would you help me out on that one, customer or that one guy?
With the fence.
County Line Road, yeah.
yes, I'll try and get up, take a look at it and get, yeah, I'll get up and take a look at it and we'll go from there. Yeah, and I'll talk to, matter of fact, I could probably do that this morning if that worked for you.
Oh, that'd be good. I'll be around. Yep, like I say, I was just heading out the door. My apologies.
No problems. I think we got it covered and we'll meet you up there in Stanley, probably within the hour.
Okay, yep. Just give me a jiggle when you're in.
Will do. Thank you. Yep.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks. Bye. They've got an individual putting steel posts up along the edge of the road again.
Again. Yeah, it's probably last year.
Yes.
Do we also have the county line, conversation yet? Do we need to authorize that or?
I would assume that would
How
be,
would you amend your motion to include him to authorize doing the 10,600 or 60 foot and then half of the city is what you guys already did. 1,060, yeah.
it's actually,
Thank you. I'll amend that motion.
John, it's a little more than
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. I'll get with Joel Fance, county engineer.
Yeah.
Okay, last but not least, discuss the Beacon software proposal.
Step back there and
We
then,
did do some, investigating. We've got, sufficient ARPA funds left that we could, invest in the fifth year and set up costs for this.
Yeah.
And I know we have a few people, Jason's here.
I have a full fine print that needs to be set before we proceed with it.
Come
I
on.
got a hold of the attorney's office just to confirm the contract that was sent to us was legit, legal, and everything's in order. Sean's concern is that and Josh's concern is if there is a dispute, the choice of law would be Indiana. So our attorney's office cannot practice in Indiana. If there is a legal dispute, we'd have to hire an attorney out of Indiana to represent us.
Right.
That's the only issue he found.
Hey,
Hey.
Morning, Ryan.
I can get that switched. That is just our default contract language because we're based out of Indiana. And if the county attorney would like that changed to Iowa, I can change that right now. Or honestly, you could scratch that out on the agreement. And I can just make sure that when I receive it from you, I'll make sure to initial it as well.
Well, I would, Ryan, go ahead and scratch that out, but that would require more effort on my part, which would require, let's say, another $500 deduction on the cost.
No.
Always bring the name go that way.
Jason won this round. I'll give him that.
Because I don't want a contract with a bunch of little scratch marks on it.
Yeah,
I
Even
can actually update that as we speak and email it over to Chris. It would just take a couple minutes. If that's okay.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'll go ahead and mute myself and work on that.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna open it up to our department heads that are here that are going to be using Beacon software. Any comments or questions, Tina?
No, my biggest thing is I like that the statements can be loaded out there so that, our residents can pull those up if they're missing them. That'd be a great benefit for us.
Well, I thought the way they showed the graphs and everything about where all the monies were
Yes,
going,
that's very nice.
it's a lot more helpful
Yeah.
for the residents.
Yep.
Evan, anything?
Hey, Ryan, question for you.
I'll do my best to multitask. Yes.
I only received the contract this morning. Did we include farms or services on there, or Is that, possible for, say, later negotiation?
We, at the time, and just reading the room and everything, and this is fairly common with other clients that you currently use, it's best to kind of have that as a later discussion because each county does things a little bit differently when it comes to ag valuation. The items that are presented in this are much more standardized and easier to set up. Chris is brand new, so I wanted to give him a little bit of breathing room to maybe have that meeting a little bit later date.
All right, we'll use the one step to the next.
Yep.
Is that gonna cost us more than at that point in time? I guess
So-
my question is it easier or less expensive to do it now, or is it gonna be the same cost later?
It'll be the same cost. So actually, I want to elaborate on that because I just see now that Chris is on the call. Is as long as the assessor is putting the CSR values into the CAMA program, which is Vanguard, Snyder can pull those CSR values and post those onto the Beacon website. There's a tool called Farms that is from Sidwell, and that tool is usually used to determine the acreage of each CSR. So, it's a 40 acre. It takes all those squiggly lines and gives an exact measurement with the different soils. But in terms of posting the values, the CSR amounts, as long as it is being placed in Vanguard, we can pull those numbers and then display them on the Beacon website.
Is it being placed in Vanguard? Do you understand what he's saying?
Yes, it's in our Vanguard system.
Okay,
Yeah, at present, we are paying Sidwell for farms at around 5,100 a year.
okay, so we're paying civil for farms?
So that 5,100 amount, that's the part, Don, that if Chris wants to, we can talk about that at a later date. We do have a competitive option for that. It really depends on what the county wants to do moving forward. But that would require a little bit more back and forth with Snyder and the county itself. A few more people involved. Does that answer your question?
What are your feelings either way on that, Evan? I mean, like 16.5 to me. Farms presently just kind of sits there and takes money. It's my opinion that if we should use it or lose it. If we sign on with them, if Chris will use it, then it's my opinion that it would be worth it to save time and money for farm values. Otherwise, I would think Sidwell for nothing. Thank you.
Yep. If I could add to that, there's a lot of since Evan's in the room too, there's a lot of transitioning going on right now in the GIS world of software. I'm actually a couple of the counties that we've recently switched over from the Sidwell website and everything else, similar to what we're doing today. We've been delaying that parcel maintenance conversation into a separate conversation, just because there's a few more moving parts involved with each community. We at Snyder, if you want us to process it, Evan, we can. But like I said, I wanted to wait until a later date to discuss that specifically, the parcel maintenance.
Maintenance goes, we have a whole workflow worked out, and I enjoy parcel maintenance, so. Glad to do. No.
It's always the joke, with Iowa government, right? There's 99 different ways of doing something. So that's why I'd rather take my time a little bit on that and make sure that all the right people are in the room on the Snyder side, and on the Buchanan County side as well.
Okay.
Sure. Okay. Chris, what would you like to
I
interject?
just started talking, I obviously have to meet with Ryan and, see it, both websites and pass. I think, it's a very good option. I think it'll really help our office, and more importantly, the taxpayers who use the software on the other side, who call our office. It'll help Kim with, being the front facing person. She deals with a lot of those calls where people call and they can't find information on the website or they need help or something like that. And I think the Beacon layout's just more user friendly for that. And then the information supplied, I feel like they supply better information, and I feel like it would be a great asset to our office. So it's fully supported.
Yeah, it's kind of nice, like if I do something in Blackhawk County, I can click onto that parcel and you can actually go into like the deed history and stuff too.
Yeah.
So,
Those of you who aren't aware, Chris is our new assessor,
we're very happy to have him.
residing downstairs.
Basically.
Hopefully, if we go to the Beacon program, you may not have to have as many interactions with residents because it's gonna be very much future friendly.
Some of the other stuff Ryan showed the other day with like the being able to petition online and find your comparables. We just had our first board review meeting last week. But I know that's something that people, especially people who are petitioning their values, you know, it's hard to find your comparables if you don't know what you're doing. Beacon supplying that, A, brings better information to our board when they do come in, and B, when you're looking through it and you see, oh, maybe my comparables are comparable to mine, then it just gives you better information on both ends. So again, just lots of things with Beacon, I think that clean it up a little bit. So I actually started in Floyd County right behind them leaving Beacon. And my first couple months in Floyd County were just people complaining to me that we had left it. So it's nice to be on the other end.
Any other department heads that use this, but they don't think you really have interaction with it.
Hey, Chris, I sent you an updated agreement. Let me know if you got it.
Just seen it pop in. Thank you.
We
Okay.
had done
So-
some. But,
So please note on that last, really quick, just please note on that last page, Chris, you'll see it was changed from Indiana to Iowa. Number, just because we're in a public meeting here, I want to make sure I note it. Let's see. And I know there's a question there too. So,
Number 9.
yeah, so number 9, it would be on page 7. I changed, I struck the word Indiana and I replaced it with Iowa. So if something comes up legally between Snyder Geospatial and Buchanan County, the mediation, the trial, whatever you want to call it, would take place in Iowa.
Yep, I got it. Thank you, Ryan.
Okay. And then I think I heard a question from the gallery. Not sure.
I was just commenting that you do have a online permit system, and that there's also one being developed for the county engineers through the County Engineer Service Bureau, and this is becoming a bigger issue with the state issuing permits now on the county roads. The online system that the state's using.
Yeah.
Some of the notes I made on secondary roads end of it was the online permitting, of course, the survey data and road plans that would be on there, right of way information, bridges, culvert information.
Yeah, that ties in. Yeah, most of this will tie in with the state system to pull that information right over.
And it is linked to traffic counts with the Iowa DOT, so that'll display also. Measurement capabilities, which is huge.
Yep.
Data export capability. And survey of property corners and section ties, so.
Yep.
That's all real key features for you.
Putting it in perspective, the technology is so that right now Iowa State's coming up with their drone for Wednesday to fly some of our roads to measure how deep the washboards are and the potholes. So the thing that we have technology that can measure that's interesting in itself.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
World-class software. The price reflects it. So it's worth a while doing.
I'll make a motion that we move forward with Beacon and let's help our citizens and our county.
Use the funds.
Out of ARPA funds?
We do the initial setup with ARPA funds.
Yeah,
Absolutely. All right.
Okay,
the initial year and setup would be out.
I'll make the second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah, because I'll have to do a resolution approving the ARPA funds, so if I can have a roll call, I'd appreciate it.
Kurt's aye.
Green and I.
Chris, if you need any documentation related to previous counties that have used ARPA funds, let me know. I can provide some examples of documentation.
Okay, sounds great. I'll get the contract, its signage and send it off to you, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You also asked to identify our lead on this software maintenance and things like that. Is that still a question outstanding for you?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did you still need a lead on the software maintenance? Is that the question that was still outstanding for you?
In terms of who to talk to,
Yes.
I will coordinate with Chris and Evan. I think that would make the most sense to start with them.
What's the, Ryan, can we throw Jason in there too?
I'll volunteer you too.
I'm sure Jason's got a smile on his face there. Yeah. When we start negotiating price, I'll bring Jason in. No, I'll make sure to include all three if I'm hearing you right.
All right.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yep. I
Good.
can't see everyone's reactions over there, so I don't know if they're all making fun of me or not here. So
Appreciate it, and thank you. I do want to compliment Jason on his negotiation skills that we the other day.
yeah, I do want to point out, even though this is at a public meeting, I'm okay with it. We negotiated in the interrogation room, I believe, but I'm not positive. So, all right, I'll leave you guys at that. All right.
Thanks, Ryan.
Sure.
Thanks.
With that, I'll move into public comment.
Do I come up there? I've been in this before, just
You're,
stand
you're
here.
fine here.
Whatever you'd like.
My name is Julie Johnson. I'm from Hazelton. And I appreciate you hearing me today. I talked to John, I talked to Keith. We have a group of citizens that are wishing to have a demonstration on May 31st on the grounds of the courthouse. It will, and I told you two guys, it is definitely going to be stressed as peaceful. That's our intent. We just want a place to express our concerns. And that will be reiterated by me throughout the 2-hour span from 12 to 2 on the 31st. And I'm new at this. I don't know what I need to do, what don't do. You told me some things, but I just want to make sure I have it right going forward.
I think as a body, as a citizen's body, you have the right to peacefully assemble, as long as it's a peaceful assembly. Don't block the roads.
And people have different views of what peaceful protest is. We don't want to be Minneapolis and burn the town down.
I can only control my people. I think I shared with you, I was at one down in Denton and there was a truckload of young men circling us and threatening us. And, you know, one person yelled back at him. I'd rather have nobody yell back at him, but you know, we can't control those people. But I would do my best on my part too.
And I have not had a chance to double check on the electricity out there,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure there is. And if you have, let me stop down and see Lyle on the first floor.
Okay.
He would be able to answer any questions you have on that.
So if we decided to do this more than once, do we have to come back every time or can we would, if we do this, it will be on a weekend to not interfere with anything going on at the courthouse, regular business.
Yeah, I don't think you have to. I mean, it would be nice for us to know the date so that we can get that to the
I can do
sheriff.
that.
I mean, and Scott, do you have any word?
Do we know the approximate amount of people there yet?
It could be me. I can give, Waterloo is a bigger town. They had several hundred. I went to Vinton on the 19th. They had 30 on the 5th when they had one. Their second one on the 19th, there were 60. I don't know.
Probably anywhere from 30 to 60 would be.
Anyway, here, I guess
Maybe 30 to 60, I would say. I mean, I don't think we're any bigger than Vinton.
No, we're a smaller town than Vinton, but
Right.
they'd done it twice at that point. Any questions or concerns for me? I'd be
I
happy.
think as long as it's uneventful as far as disturbances or anything like that,
There will be some singing, some chanting, some walking with signs. As far as I'm concerned, that's what I'm wanting to have happen. So, You had said no profanity on signs.
Right.
Right? Was there something else to with signs?
No, I think,
Now to my grandma, excuse my language, shit and hell were profanity. So worse than mine. I never heard those words from her mouth. My mom, that was a different story.
Yeah, I guess we talked about.
Vulgarity.
And even then, my only question was whether or not it was gonna be peaceful. I mean, you, under the First Amendment, you have that right. Thanks for letting us know, but you don't need our permission.
Mhm.
But appreciate you letting us know.
And please be respectful of the veterans.
Absolutely. My brother's a Vietnam veteran. With 2 tourists. Offensive. Ooh, Purple Heart. Yeah, I will be respectful and I will encourage that. Thank you. Any questions?
no, no,
If
no.
you have any problem, you got my number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, Julie.
Anyone else for public comment? Yes, yeah.
I'm Russell Kress. I'm located down on Highway 150, just north of Raleigh Corner. And I own 7.5 acres there that I've owned since the 80s. And in the 90s, I zoned out an acre to be used for a possible church that we were considering building our church there. And that didn't end up happening, but it was still sown. And so now I've got had that acre, and I wanted them, and they put the new power plant there on 150 or transformers or whatever you want to call them. And so instead of having the original drawing on the map of having the acre on the north corner, I moved it to the south corner of the 7.5 acres. And the county wanted me to pay $255 to separate it. It has already been separated since the 90s. And I don't want to pay the $255. I did, but I'd like to get it refunded. Plus, I had to pay $250 to rezone it, and I'm only moved it 200 feet. I just wanted to get farther away from that transformers. Is all I was trying to do. And I think I had no plan of knowledge of the transformers ever being built there. So I think I'm getting the shaft, and that's what I feel like.
The transformers aren't on your property, it's on the adjacent property.
Right. And the tower is tall enough that if it actually fell down, it would hit my property.
Yeah, that's something you're gonna have to start with the planning and zoning department.
But I've been down there, and they said I had to go through the county board of supervisors.
Yeah,
so.
well, I'm gonna tell you right now, you're gonna pay, everybody that goes through the process, they go through the same process. So they didn't single you out or anything else like that. More than likely, you're probably not gonna be refunded your funds.
I mean,
it's a
I've
process.
already paid for it once. I
Right, it's a
don't want to
process.
pay for it again just because I'm moving it 200 feet away from the tower. That's all I'm doing, 200 feet.
But they have a process that they'll follow through and then they'll bring it up to us. Like she said, you'll have to come through us, but we'll have to follow their process for now. But yeah, we'll get to it as soon as they get done with their part of it.
I've been on this project for the last 9 months, trying to get to this point, and it still ain't there.
Well, I remember when we went through, we approved the site move several months ago.
Right, and then all of a sudden, the pop jumps up that I have to pay an extra $255 to separate the land off again. That I'm splitting the 7.5 acres, so they charge an extra $255 to split it, and I already had it split.
But you're splitting it again.
No, I'm not, I'm just moving it 200 feet where the split line is. It's still split. I mean, I'm not.
We're not gonna solve it here. You're gonna have to work through planning and zoning. I'm not gonna step in and,
Right.
Once they get through their part of it, we'll address it at that point.
yeah.
All right.
Anyone else for public comments?
I just want to say I was at the Beacon meeting the other day. I was very impressed with all the department heads. Everybody supported it. And it sounds like, from my information, what I got is that this could expand and even do more good things for the county.
Yeah.
So I really think it's a wise move. Very good.
Yeah, there are some add-ons that at some point we could consider also. Anyone else? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, thank you.